Well, do we want to do our top 3 right now?
Let's do our top 3 here.
Let's do our top 3.
We'll do our let's do our top 3 moments of the season. Now, this is something that we could take any way that we decide to do, either personally, or we'll do our podium. Who gets what moment gets the bronze, the silver, and the gold?
So we'll do a season podium.
Yeah,
and then it's like you said, it's a very diverse thing. You know, we took this as a very open. It can be a game, a moment, a player, anything. So we'll do bronze, silver, gold. You want me to start? Or you want to start?
Yeah, we'll start with both our bronzes.
Okay, so for my bronze is senior night. So obviously I did both the games on senior night. You guys can check out both of those on the YouTube. Both of the streams should be on there as well as the interviews.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to do the play-by-play for the women's, and then you joined me on that one. You were able to get back from your trip in time.
Yeah.
Yep. Come join me on that one. So that was a lot of fun. You know, they did lose to IUPUI, but it was a great game. We had a lot of fun with it. We were very energetic.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though we were down 21, you know, when Linda Van Schaik made a 3, I'm like, and Van Schaik for a 3. Just started going nuts. It was great. It was a fun time.
Had fun while we could, yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time on that one. The senior night ceremonies was very cool watching that. And then we shift over to the men's game later that night. I just kind of stayed here in the stadium. And that one was really special for me. Not just because, you know, I'm calling the game and everything, and I got to do sideline that night, but my family was there. My family came out to watch me. My mom, my dad, my brother, my brother's girlfriend, and my girlfriend were all there to watch that one. So that was really special for me to get to, you know, have them come out and watch me. I got to do a sideline for that one. So it was a lot of fun to do that. You know, Elizabeth Coombs was the other one, and so she let me go up a couple times.
Yeah.
Like I talked about, you know, Blake taking, you know, initiative and everything. Got to experience that. Harj and Gavin were on the call for that one that night. I got to do a lot more bits than normal just because of how close of a game it was. Usually, you know, we only do a bit or two.
Yeah, a couple of hits.
Yeah, and Gavin and Harj were like, can't be saying anything, can't be saying anything. And I was like, he did. They're like, you want to do a bit? I was like, yes. So I got to do a lot more in that one. It was just a really, really cool and special game for me. So that one gets my bronze.
Yeah, for me, mine was kind of spread throughout the season, but I would say for me, being in the stands and like going to the home games, like on the rare occasion I wasn't working the games,
sure,
being able to kind of help lead the student section, and I'm being bold and selfish by saying that, but
yeah,
whether I mean women's games included, but like to be there and to feel the crowd kind of grow gradually as the season went on, as Oakland like started to look like the real deal, to see the crowd in the student section start to fill up, especially towards the end of the season. It like I let it all out, man. This is my senior year. I had to make sure to get it all out of my system and to try and help build the sports culture around here on campus. That
definitely
to watch the attention to sports grow, I would say it was my bronze medal for this season. So what you got for silver?
Silver is Trey Townsend's season. I mean, we've talked about it so much already in this episode. Everything he did. I mean, Mr. Oakland, as they call him, his father went here, his mother. Everything he did this season gets my silver. You know, all the points, his insane performances, the history he made, both in the tournament, both tournaments, the regular season, his effort every single game, his drive, the way that he's just transformed his body, especially even to this season, to be so strong, so physical.
Yeah, to see the picture of him from freshman year to now senior year.
His game that he's expanded to be able to shoot as well, put the ball on the floor. Townsend gets my silver.
For me, my silver, I would say Blake Landman gets my silver for this one. You know, to kind of go with both of the veterans here, because the big story for this season, for as far as Blake goes, he almost didn't play. He was almost redshirted and injured, and never would have seen this season. And I don't think Oakland would have gotten to this point in their season, gotten to the heights that they did without him, because Campy says he knows the zone better than he does.
Yeah,
that Blake, 5 years with the Golden Grizzlies, on just a random suggestion by Travis Bader to say, like, this kid's the new me.
Yeah.
It was a simple phone call that Campy got, said, hey, let this kid play. And he was just a walk-on from, you know, locally from Hazlet, Michigan, and ended up being a huge cornerstone piece, a leader for this team, and it almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing the most of the Horizon League regular season. He ended up being second team All Horizon League. Yeah. He was one of the top 3 in 3-point shooters, in 3 points per game, in percentage. Like him and as well as Golke were 2 of the top 3 3-point shooters in the entire Horizon League. So him being able to have his senior year and to, you know, make that big impact is my silver medal. Yeah.
Blake he was awesome to interview this year too.
Oh, he's such a great person,
class act, great kid. Awesome to,
the whole
to
team
be around.
Was, honestly.
Yeah. Blake was, I mean, he was so thankful to us and everything. I loved getting to talk with him. And you talk about the Travis Bader thing. Let's not forget how coach has openly admitted that on the first week of practice, he forgot Blake's name multiple times. He kept having to ask his assistant, hey, what's that kid's name over there? But he said after the first 2 weeks of practice, that kid was working harder than the seniors were. Everybody else in camp had told him when he walked on, hey, we're going to Greece for our trip. You're not coming. 2 weeks into practice, brings him in his office, says, hey, you want to come to Greece? Openly asked him to come into Greece.
I love that story.
Yeah.
So he got to go to Greece and Italy.
Yes. Yeah. Blake is awesome.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Italy trip.
No.
No, but yeah, they went there in August. I was in Sicily during the same time. I thought I'd run into them, but they were up in the north. But anyway, so we got our silver, we got our bronzes, we got our silvers. What's the gold moment of the season?
Gold for me, it's kind of a little bit of a collection, but it's winning the Horizon League for the first time in team history outright, winning the tournament, and then making March Madness.
That entire
basically
postseason,
just those three win ideas there, just kind of making March Madness. But then the reasons we made March Madness, that's my gold. I think it's kind of easy for me.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's an easy one for me, and then everything that went along with March Madness, it's great. It's just March Madness, everything that came with it itself is my gold. It's an easy one for me.
Yeah, definitely. I same thing for me, a little bit of a different twist. So like my bronze was being able to be at the home games, but I would say my gold, and this is kind of also lumped in with just the fact that we got to all the postseason stuff we did. But I was able to go and I was able to host a watch party here in the Habitat for that Cleveland State game in the semifinals. But I was able to go to Indiana, as I mentioned, for the championship game.
Yep.
I was able to go to Pittsburgh for both the Kentucky and the NC State game, courtesy of OSI. Thank you very much to everyone that made that happen with those student buses. But to go from seeing the crowd and seeing the place in the arena filled and loud to seeing the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, that same energy multiplied tenfold.
Yeah.
To feel that energy, to be with students and to see the alumni that, we took over that stadium.
No,
twice.
it was awesome. And then we
took over.
Yeah, we'll get into, because I honestly wasn't with you guys.
Yeah. You went on your own.
I went on my own. So my brother doesn't go to Oakland quite yet. He'll be here next year. He's going to be with our staff. He'll be here in the fall, WXOU. But it was, the bus was students only. So he wanted to go. So me and him were like, we're just going to buy the cheapest tickets possible. And we're going to go. And
just to get in the place.
Just to get in the place, yeah. And I got stories that we'll get into when we get into the Kentucky game. But, we were up in that upper deck, and we put everyone else on our backs and carried that upper deck to make sure we were supporting Oakland. But should we get into the Kentucky game now?
I think so.